5:30 to 6:30. And let's welcome in the man himself, Coach Caleb Ross. Caleb, man, I just got to start off. Last week's a bye week. How did that go for you? It's always nice, to, especially when you get one beginning of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you probably wish, truthfully, you probably could get it maybe a little bit later, maybe week 4, week 5. Week 2 is a little early, and especially we were playing pretty good football, so you don't, you worry about do you kill your momentum or anything like that. But I tell you what, we had 3 really good days. We tried to go 3. It fell on Labor Day, but I don't know if we'd have done a whole lot that Monday anyway if it had been a school day. So we gave the kids off. We practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And, man, really went back to going back to fundamental stuff, man. Just really got blocking and tackling. Spent a lot. We picked one special teams unit of the day and put a good amount of time onto it. Went back to some fundamental stuff there. Put in a few wrinkles maybe just for the whole season, not so much for this week, just that stuff that we thought that we need to start repping some of this. We may need it down the road. So we did some of that last week, but really got 3 really good days in. Man, I tell you this, for a high school kid, sometimes that ain't the funnest time, especially with this heat and we don't have a game. But I'll say this, man, as the week went on, our practices got much better. The first Tuesday was probably a little bit, hey, we're pushing them a little bit. By Thursday, man, they were flying around and getting some good work in. So it was productive.
Guys, you can catch the show live again, 5:30 to 6:30. Dixie Country 100.1 Prattville live. You can catch that on social media, Twitter, Facebook. Go to the YouTube to watch the show live, DixieCountry.net. You also find it on Alexa, Play Dixie Country. And, Coach, you can also catch all those highlights Friday nights on the Alabama News Network during Lace-Up starting at 10 o'clock. Let's throw this in here, okay? I want to get this off the first 2 weeks, okay? Because, last week – off week, didn't have a show. The week before, Will Barrett comes in, fills in. I was in Arlington trying to cover Auburn, getting that win against Oregon, so I was out of here. Foley, 39-0. Okay, really impressive. I'm sure Will went over. I kind of watched some of it, so you broke that down. But Stanhope, man, this past week, 42-0. That's a game that each and every year, no matter who's coaching, who's playing, fans around the Tri-County, Elmore County, Otaga County, circle that game. It's a few other ones on the schedule, but they circle that game. The first 2 weeks of the season, man, 81 points offensively. The defense hasn't even given up one single point. That's got to feel good heading into really week 4, but week 3 for you game week.
And this is just about as true statement as I can get. As a coach, you don't so much the score doesn't. Everybody, of course we want to win. Let's get that straight. We do, but it's not about the score. It's truly how you do it, and I think that's what I was most impressed with. Because last year we beat Foley 37-0, but that was the first game. Just to be honest, we were sloppy at things. We didn't really move the football real well. We had some explosive plays, and we had some big turnover plays on defense to create some short fields, but didn't really play well. And then was in just a dog fight with Stanhope in a really good ball game that we had to hit last second field goal to win. We came out this year and it's complete opposite, man. We took control of the game early, never let our foot off the gas, and finished the game. And our kids were dialed in from start to finish. And I think that's the most impressive thing. Yeah, we won. Proud of that. But it's just how our kids did it. And to be fair, we're better than Foley. Foley's right now they're not in their best years of their program, and Stanhope's probably. They were probably challenged a little bit trying to get the ball down the field, throwing the football. But, they still had a big offensive line. They ran the ball well. It's 2 games we should have won, but we took care of business, and that's what I was proud of.
Yeah, Coach, the Buffalo Rock Player of the Week coming in, Kyle Kramer, your quarterback. He's a guy that we're talking about, especially week 1 of the show. You definitely want to get him off going really fast. Man, I'm just running over the stats here. 18 of 22. 290 yards, 5 touchdowns. I went back, watched the highlights. We're out there, got the highlights on Lace Up. It looks like he was having fun out there.
Man, he probably played as good of a game as any quarterback I've coached. And my sounds, and this ain't nothing to do. This really just the players we've been blessed to coach. But we've had 3 or 4 kids be first-team All-State. We've had about 4 or 5 quarterbacks go on and play college football. 18 of 22, and the night he had, he was just really dialed in. And Kyle is one of those kids, and we know that when he's out there having fun, it's going to be a good night. I'm more worried when he's almost kind of more subdued, but when he's out there with energy, it's going to be a really, really good night. He was on top of his stuff. He just saw things and really the player that we know he can become. And I've told him, man, if he can play like that or close to playing like that, we're going to have a really good chance of winning these games. Any team we play against.
Yeah, I mean, Coach, at least coming into it, looking offensively and just trying to prepare for a team. What exactly was the game plan for the Mustangs? Because it really seemed like everything was working. I mean, you see the stats through the air. I mean, running the ball as well. I mean, just Albert Taggart, 9 carries, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. So, I mean, a pretty balanced approach. Was that pretty much the game plan headed into it?
It was. Anytime you go in, you want to be balanced. Now, I mean, to be realistic, sometimes what is balance? I mean, sometimes, hey, you got to do what it takes to win and move the football. You want to be balanced because it helps you against that defense and it helps you down the road against defenses to come. So, but, yeah, we go in. We want to run the football, want to establish the run. It's still high school football. I think you can't I don't think you can rely on the pass every play, not in high school football. One year when I was at McGill, we threw the ball probably a lot because we had super talented receivers and a really good quarterback, and we got similar situation this year. But we've got tough physical kids. We're going to be a run pass football team that wants to be 50-50. That was kind of the game plan. I know Stanhope was really good on their defensive line, and I knew going in we had to do enough stuff to keep them off balance. I mean, just running right downhill at them was not going to be. I didn't think that was going to be something. We were not going to win most of those battles, so we had to keep them off balance, throw screens, run some perimeter stuff. That's our game plan really about every week, man. We want to be as multiple as possible to put the defense in difficult positions.
Yeah, it kind of seemed, especially early on in that game, that slant routes, things that you got the ball out of his hands really, really quick. Try to get some receivers, run kind of – I mean, you're mixing in the run. I mean, another thing we talked about was the skill position players and just how diverse you were because you had guys that could do different things. And, I mean, in that game, I mean, the stat sheets, something that will definitely go from top to bottom and break it down for those players. But, if you're Kyle and having all those weapons, I mean, trusting the system, it seemed like he was at a different level of being comfortable.
And it's kind of a really good coaching point of what we say about our offense. Man, it's a spread offense. And and what it means is from week to week, different guys are going to have big weeks just for whatever reason. Maybe defense is keying on something. Maybe their scheme takes the inside guys away, so it allows the outside guys to have big nights or vice versa. And we can't ever get into a panic situation where I got to force feed one kid or we got to get the ball to this kid. And we got guys that need the ball in their hand, and we're smart how we do that. We try to get the ball into quick screens or jet sweeps to guys that, man, they can take a handoff and they can go 60, just because, man, God's blessed them with a lot of talent. So we try to do that type stuff, but it is a spread offense. And I think, man, if you're a receiver, you want to play in this because because you're 4 or 5 guys.
It's just fun.
It is. Yeah. You're going to get your chance to touch the football different ways. We're going to throw it down the field. We're going to throw medium routes. We're going to throw screens. And we've got and we try to use our personnel and do the things that they can do well. And that's really, that's what hopefully any offensive coach is trying to do.
Yeah, Coach, now looking at this last one, it was just not only a giant score. I mean, you just blew out arguably probably your biggest rival. I mean, that with Wetumpka, a couple other teams, Central Phoenix City, a team that we'll get to in just a minute that you have on the road this week. It was also your 50th win as a head coach. I mean, a milestone. I saw the photos tweeted out, Prattville Lions Twitter page, Facebook getting out, you and your wife. It looked like you had a different type of smile on your face. I mean, it feel good, 50th?
It did. I'll be honest. I really, and I mean this, I guess I might have this summer was looking at something. I was like, oh, yeah, we got a chance to win 50. I'd really not thought about it.
You got it early in the season.
My wife come up to me after the game. She says, congratulations. I was like, well, yeah, it was 40. She goes, no, that's 50. I was like, 50? I was like, we scored 42. She goes, no, it's your 50th win. I was like, I didn't even think about it. I really didn't. And it's neat, I guess. I guess so, man. You coach long enough, but we're proud of it. We're not, that, but truly, man, I was just excited I was just impressed that we played a rival, Stanhope, and I played in that game. I've coached in that game, and man, we dominated that game. I was just really proud of our kids for taking care of business. Bottom line, the 50 it's a great, it's neat, but man, we're not, and we're not saying that we don't want them. You know what I mean? But I just really, man, I was glad. I got a pretty good wife. She keeps up to date. She's probably more dialed in on stuff than me sometimes. So.
Well, Coach, it's always the next game's the most important. 51 looking to, and that brings us to this point right here. Quickly, we'll go over this Class 7A Region 2 standings. Lee Montgomery, Auburn, Central Phoenix City. your Prattville Lions, Smith Station, Enterprise, and Jeff Davis. So we'll kind of break down the little bit more, get into the game. Also talk with Kyle Kramer, who is the Buffalo Rock Player of the Week for his incredible game against Stanhope. 5 touchdowns, 290 yards, 18 of 22. And it's time for our first break. Stay with us. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show on Dixie Country 100.1.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tires Engineer.
All right, we're back here, Coach Caleb Ross Show, live at Buffalo Wild Wings. And, Coach, man, we're getting ready to kind of decide what type of wings are really what we want. If you want to come join us each and every Thursday night starting at 5:30, get here early, get here a little late. You know, we'll be kind of hanging around, talk to Darrell Puckett here with you. And, you know, of course, joined by Coach Caleb Ross. And, Coach, you know, we kind of broke down a lot of stuff in the first segment. Let's kind of wrap up a little bit of that. I want to get back to the Class 7A rankings, kind of, you know, glance over because you do have Central Phoenix City, you know, a team that, you know, doesn't have the players it did from a year ago coming out winning a state championship, but it's still a very, very, very good team. You got them this week, but just go over a couple players you had from Stanhope because incredible stats. Altarius Bates, 8 catches, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kendrick Rogers, 6 catches, $137. Coach, man, I mean, you're just getting these receivers out. 2 touchdowns for him as well. Albert Taggart, 9 carries, 86 yards, 1 score. You know, again, I mean, kids look at what you're doing offensively, and they want to come play in this offense.
That's right. And, man, you talk about those 2 receivers, both of them. I mean, Kendrick had a great night on special teams, returned a couple kicks against Foley, but against Stanhope, man, he really broke out as a receiver and had a man, he had a big night. I think we've had the vertical throw we hit to him, and he's so dynamic with the ball in his hands. And really, Bates, man, he had all that in really 2 series. He didn't play the first quarter. Man, he had maybe a catch or 2 in the first half. I can't even remember, but I know in the second half, the first 2 series, it was like the Altiris Bates show, man. We threw, it was quick stuff. We did hit him on a seam ball. That was really a really good read by Kyle, man. Saw that was uncovered and got the ball out quick. And he's got us dynamic, man. He can do stuff with the ball in his hands. He's got things you can't coach. Those guys like that, man, if you can get them going in the right direction, they'll make you look like a really good football coach. So, man, was best proud of him. Like I said, the running backs, man, Jaden Kidd, Albert Taggart, both had really good nights, man. And sometimes with the way we spread things around, man, our running backs, they're probably not going to get 25, 30 carries a game. But the sell is, hey, you're not going to get beat up and banged up by week 4 either. So, man, you get 2 that can go. And you need it. It's just different. 7A football is almost like college football. You got to have a couple running backs. So I tell you, the group I was in, obviously Taylor Thompson. I think he had 2 catches, but both were huge plays. One went for a touchdown, and one was a huge 3rd down conversion. And man, he runs a little under screen, really, really well. So he had a big night too. I mean, those are 2 big plays in the game. But I think the group I was most proud of offensively, man, was our offensive line. Stanhope was really good on the defensive line. They really were, and we knew we had a big challenge, and Stanhope was still good after we played them. They won some battles, but O-line held their own too, and I was really proud of that because that was a concern going in, not letting Stanhope's defensive line take over the game. Challenge those guys. They had a big night. So, man, I was really proud of what we did offensively.
Coach Kyle sharing the rock, having fun, showing love to all his receivers. Defensively, Ian Jackson, Mason Taylor, 2 linebackers for you. And I know that was something you're looking at depth-wise too. What would your starters do? What would your guys off the bench do? Those 2 guys, man, I mean, 5 solo tackles, Ian Jackson. Mason Taylor had 8 for himself, 2.5 tackles for loss, 5 for Taylor. I mean, defensively, you look good right in the middle.
They do, and I think both of those guys will tell you, and both of them had great games. And Mason Taylor's the alpha dog of that defense. Expect him to have a huge senior year, man. He's just the guy that makes it go. Ian Jackson, man, has had an incredible season so far. Really playing well, moving down the outside linebacker where I think he's really natural at and does some good stuff. And those guys will both tell you it's the defensive line that controls up front that allows those guys to make plays. When you're chewing up double teams, when you're forcing double teams, you're chewing up gaps, it allows those linebackers to flow. And, man, our D-line just had another incredible night because I didn't think Stanhope could – I wasn't worried because they had some guys that could run vertical, but I thought passing game-wise we had an advantage. I just didn't know if they could really throw the ball downfield. But I thought they could run the football. And, man, we really controlled the line of scrimmage. I mean, I think Stanhope had 50-something yards of offense, and some of that came in the second half late. So, man, really proud of that group. Man, really the defensive line's probably been the surprise for me. It was a group that, I'll be honest, as a coaching staff, we were a little concerned in the offseason going into spring. Man, we come out of spring going into summer thinking this may be a stream because we got 6 or 7 guys.
It's starting to feel pretty good now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And we've got some guys that are starting to play up to the potential finally. And, man, that's really been a highlight.
Coach, so many ways you can listen to the show. Dixie Country 100.1. Listen to us on the radio. Also, watch us live. Prattville Live. Also, DixieCountry.net. You can also ask Alexa to play Dixie Country. That's how you can find us, Coach. Let's quickly get to this, and let's go over the top because, again, this week is incredibly huge. Lee Montgomery Class 7A Region 2. Right now they're sitting at the top. It's a 3-way tie right there. So let's go Lee Montgomery, the top Class 7A Region 2 standings. Auburn 2-1, at least 3-0. Auburn 2-1 in second. Central Phoenix City 2-1. All those teams just have region wins, so they're all 1-0. This week, you get your first one. You're 2-0, and you're playing Central Phoenix City, and you're going to play them on the road. What's been the entire week leading up? You're kind of telling me off air before we started. Monday, Tuesday, kind of slow, but yesterday, today has picked up, had some really good practices. What's been the message to the guys? Because, I mean, you're going to have to hit a really hostile environment.
You are, but to me, it's like it kind of gets back to what we talked about with the Stanhope game. Look, our kids know this is a big week. To me as a coach, it's because you'd have to understand. There's so many people, Coach. Do you need, man? I want to come talk to the team, or can I do some extra motivation? And I'm really appreciative because guys, they really want to help. But just, man, we've studied this stuff and we've done the sports psychology. Man, you don't make a moment bigger than it is. These kids know it's a big game. They hear it when they go home. They hear it in the school. It's my job to focus on what do you got to do. Quit worrying about them. Worry about what you have to do. It is 100. I don't, you don't want to give the old Hoosiers thing, but hey, that field's 100 yards just like the one we practice on every day. You know what I mean? So, hey, it's to me the environment, all that. That's what you want in high school football. This stuff you're going to remember. They are good. It's a great program. We know that. But to me, it's about getting our guys prepared to do their job and not worry about the rest. It really isn't. And and I say this, defensively, we've had a really good week. Offensively, we've had a great week. Monday probably wasn't our best practice. I'm an honest guy. I tell our team that. I try to be. So, and Monday was not our best practice. But we came back and had one of the best practices since I've been here on Tuesday. So, and we finished really strong. So our kids are dialed in, man. They're ready to go. It's a different – I've been so proud of these kids, man. It's a different group. It's like they start – that switch starts to flip as the week goes on, getting closer to Friday night. And, man, they really – I hope they take on our personality, man. That's just kind of how we are as a staff, and hope they continue to be that way.
Coach Caleb Ross Show, Dixie Country 100.1, Prattville Live, DixieCountry.net. So many ways you can listen, you can watch. Coach, time for another break. When we get back, and we're going to break down some more stuff. Eventually get to our Buffalo Rock Player of the Week, Kyle Kramer. Incredible week against Stanhope 2 weeks ago. Hope for another one against Central Phoenix City tomorrow night. But until then, stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
You do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tires Engineer.
All right, welcome back in, Coach Caleb Ross Show. Hey, man, it is finally the time that we've been telling you about, the Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Week, Player of the Game. It doesn't matter how you word it. A guy that is very, very special. We got Keith Bazell with us, as well as Kyle Kramer, who is our Player of the Week. And Keith, man, let's just bring it in. Present the plaque to Kyle. I know everybody listening, you can't see it, but, man, let's just get straight to it.
I am on behalf of Pepsi Buffalo Rock, we would like to present the high school player of the game, Kyle Kramer, Prattville versus Stanhope Elmore, August the 30th, 1929. Congratulations, Kyle.
Sir, thank you.
There he is. Oh man, Keith, man, is this one of your highlights each week? You get to come out, and talk with these athletes and hand this award to them.
Yeah, it's a special occasion for us to be able to do this, and just show our appreciation and our support to Prattville High School and the coaches and the football players.
Yeah, everybody loves local Kyle, man. I mean, me and Coach Ross kind of broke down. I mean, really talked about your game. We're going to get into that a little bit more, but, getting a plaque like this, is this solidifying maybe a little bit from all the hard work, especially spring, working summer, pushing fall for you?
Yeah, I mean, it means really a lot to me, and it is really big accomplishment, I think, in my eyes, because I've never won anything like this at Prattville High School before. Been here for 4 years, worked my tail off, so.
Oh, that's usually how it works when you work for and play for a coach and a program that demands excellence. My man, I mean, you're throwing nothing but dimes out there. I mean, you're getting all your guys showing the love. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing your job. I mean, everybody's telling me, Prattville, you're doing a great job. Dude, hold up that plaque so everybody watching on Prattville Live YouTube can see the Stacy, I was getting to that. Okay, look, I was getting to that. Kyle, all right, just held up the plaque, man, and it is a pleasure for me to give you this. Sports Clips in Prattville for the Player of the Week award, man. You're going to get something pretty nice. We talked about it off air, a little towel action, a little massage. You're going to get a haircut. The MVP treatment from Sports Clips in Prattville. My man, you got a free one. Congrats for that. You got a pretty sweet little haircut now. Appreciate it. You got a sweet do, so you can take that and go enjoy yourself, my man.
Sorry.
All right, Keith, man, can't thank you enough for joining us. Kyle, let's kind of break this down, man, because you're 18 of 22, 295 touchdowns, man. I mean, what was going through your head, especially early on? I mean, it's a big game. All your friends, student sections going wild. I mean, for me, I mean, I grew up around this atmosphere. I know how big it is. Was it tough to try to get the, I guess you could say the haters kind of out of your ear a little bit, maybe social media-wise, just kind of push them to the side?
No, I don't think it was really tough for me going into that game. Yeah, I know it was a big game, big rivalry game, but yeah, I just treat it like any other game, like just normal kind of practice, like almost. I even actually said that to my OL during the game, kind of got into it a little bit, and I was like, man, it's just practice. Let's go. Yeah,
okay, so Arterius Bates, you got your guy Kendrick Rogers. I mean, you passing around, man. You got Thompson out there flying down the field, too. It's got to feel pretty. It's got to give you confidence. You're sitting back, and I'm watching the highlights. I'm seeing you play, and, it's not many times, credit to your offensive line that you really have to run for your life. You've got time to kind of find your guy and make a couple reads.
Yeah, my O-line, they've done a great job the past 2 weeks, like Carter, Carson, Cord, Levi, Biddle, all them boys that, even the ones that rotate, they do a great job. Best O-line I've ever played behind.
God, now I know your dad, your mom, your family, incredibly proud of your accomplishment. It's like you're saying, 4 years you've worked your tail off, man, to get to this point. It's not about the awards. It's about stuff you get. It's about getting the W on the field, and I mean offensively. First 2 games, 81 points. Your defense, man, got your back. They haven't given up a single point.
Yeah, the defense has done an extremely good job. I have a good relationship, a pretty great relationship with most of the defensive players. Me and Ian, we talk before every game, kind of hype each other up a little bit. Tell him, like, I need another shutout. He's like, all right, I need another 40-point game. I'll talk to Mason, and I was like, go knock some heads off. He'll be like, all right. And so I think the relationship between me and the defensive players, it really helps out a lot. They play for me. They play for the offense. Offense plays for them. Everybody just plays for each other. And the chemistry, team chemistry, compatibility, everything's just great between us, man. Like, there's nobody that has any hard feelings towards anybody on our team, and I think that's really important and really why we are so successful
Team chemistry, you got to have it. You know, it's exactly what you're breaking down. Kyle Kramer, Prattville Lions quarterback, joining me on the Coach Caleb Ross Show. But let's step aside for about 10 seconds for a station identification. Always got to love those station IDs. About 10 seconds of pure awkwardness when you're sitting here doing video, doing a little interview. Let's look at this, okay? We're kind of pushing Kyle. Again, Kyle Kramer, Prattville's quarterback with me. Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Week. My man just balling against Stanhope. But he got a big game this week. It's on the road. I know everybody in the state is talking about it, especially within 7A standings, because, whoever wins this game, it's going to be a big jump, especially for you guys. I mean, you're coming in first big region game, Central Phoenix City. Coach said first little bit of the week, not so good. Tuesday, you picked it up. Wednesday, today. Do you feel ready?
I think the football team that we have, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, made over this past offseason is extremely ready. This week, we have had a great week, especially on Tuesday. That was one of the best practices that I've ever been a part of at Prattville High School. So I think we're extremely ready for these guys.
So the Stanhope game, Coach Ross's 50th win. When did you find out that Coach got to 50 and it was because you tossed 5 touchdowns? Right now?
About 2 minutes ago.
2 minutes ago, man, Coach. I don't know. You got your quarterback doesn't know what's up with the career record. But hey, that's not information that he wants you to know. Really, he wants you out there scheming, figuring out what you're doing, trying to make the next read and get out there. Look, start of the season. Now that I got you in Foley, man. I mean, you played really, really, really well against Foley. We talked about Stanhope. You had an off week. Is that kind of awkward? You have one in week 3 of the season.
No, I don't think that's awkward at all. It just gives us a bit more time to prepare for our first region game. Let us get our legs underneath of us a little bit better. Gives us a little bit of a break that most teams do not have, so it gives us a bit of an advantage going into this next game.
Let's do this. Okay, next 3 weeks, again, Central Phoenix City. This Friday night, then you got Enterprise on the road, then Wetumpka. That's a big one. I mean, the schedule's really starting to open up. This is the big meat part of the middle of a schedule that if you can get through with these wins right here, I mean, the bottom half doesn't look too bad when you're talking about region games. What's been the locker room talk? I mean, what's other guys talking about the next 3 weeks, trying to prepare for that?
Well, there was a big to do when it came to 3 away games. Wow, that's crazy. Just on the road for 3 weeks straight, almost a month, and not a home game. But talking about it in the locker room, it's not really that big of a deal. We just go into it like we would a home game, an away game, shoot, across the country game. It really doesn't matter. We're going to go into the same mindset, same way we do any other thing.
What's the most difficult thing? Because, this is something people probably want to know. What's the most difficult thing for a guy that's a senior coming in, starting quarterback at Prattville High School? What's the toughest thing weekly that you got to deal with during the season? Is it the girlfriend? Is it the practices? Is it Coach Ross yelling at you? What is the most difficult thing you got when you start Monday and you say, okay, I got to get this week going?
Well, let me tell you a little secret. I don't have a girlfriend.
Single.
Haven't had one in a while. But,
Kyle Kramer, man, Lions quarterback. Now, you want to push for after the season, right? We want to focus on the season right now.
Maybe. We'll see. But the biggest thing, the biggest challenge is keeping the energy up. People knowing what to do, bouncing around, just getting reps, getting practice in, man. Coach Ross does get a little intense sometimes, but
he gets pumped up.
He does get pumped up in practice, but I think that does help us in the game. Whenever he is intense in our ears yelling, I mean, if we can handle that, we can handle anything. And he has always told us that at practice. He's like, you can handle me, you're going to be fine Friday night, and I 100% believe him there.
It's one thing I keep hearing is you're not saying it, but the maturity type thing, it's something that it seems like you got to grow into. I mean, a guy that's been at the school, you've been competing each year to try to get the starting quarterback spot, and this year is your year, man. And, you're putting up the stats, and, I mean, I think people can tell what type of work and especially the off season that you're putting in the weight room. You're going out and, I'm sure you're hitting the field tons with all these guys. I mean, it seems like you got a great connection. Is the maturity level for you a little bit different this year?
Yeah, I have matured a lot since my freshman year. Even some of the coaches will tell you that. I used to just mess around a lot. Especially my freshman year, I was extremely immature. And I think that's for most freshmen, that's the same case. Didn't really take the weight room that serious. We really didn't have a good year my freshman year, and I think that was because we were so immature. A little bit of a new coaching staff on the freshman team that year as well. But overall, after 3 years of progression, me and my teammates, we have matured so much, and we're maturing together. It goes back to that team chemistry thing that I was talking about. It does help us out extremely.
It's one thing I always ask the players, the coaches. I mean, it's kind of a loaded question, but, it's one that needs to be asked all the time. Heading into this week, what's going to be that thing that you need to do, that Kyle Kramer needs to do, that maybe only you know that you need to do, but it needs to start really quickly tomorrow night?
Man, I just got to do what I've been doing, keeping up, making my reads right, getting everybody lined up right, making sure we know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. That's really the big thing right there.
What's been the funnest part, especially look over summer, man. I mean, we came out there for a little lace-up high school, preview series and, talked to you all and, saw the practice. And, I mean, from the footage brought back to me, I was looking, I mean, you're throwing pretty good during that too, What's it been like for you, especially over the summer? I mean, you're heading in again to the senior year. Kyle Kramer, Prattville starting quarterback with me. And you're heading the senior year, and, it's on your shoulders. It's nobody else.
Yeah, and I do feel some of that pressure as, like, all of it is on my shoulders because I am the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Things go wrong, things go bad, it's on me. But my teammates, they do really take most of that pressure off of me because I know that they're going to perform when I need them to perform at their best abilities. Especially, like, I learned that during the summer, during 7-on-7. For example, we were in a Alabama 7-on-7. Isaiah Causey made a huge catch, man. Really a quiet receiver for ever since junior high, just real quiet, real hard-working, and nobody really knows what he can do. I mean, our teammates and our coaches know, but nobody else really knows what he can do. And he really made a big play and stepped up right there, gave me a lot of confidence as well as all the other receivers as well.
Now, in high school, I've heard it been done before, definitely in college. Have you got the call yet to take out the offensive lineman anywhere, pay for some dinner maybe out of your own pocket, maybe Pop's, Mom's pocket a little bit? Is that something working in the near future? I mean, you keep winning. These guys protecting you. Deserve a little dinner, right?
Yeah, we did go out to dinner actually before the Foley game.
Okay.
We talk all the time. Sometimes I'll go eat with some of them, not all of them. But we did go eat as a group the Thursday night before Foley, and they really do appreciate it. It really shows that they think that I care about them, and they go hard for me, and I'm going to go hard for them as well.
Working hard for those guys. Let's end on this because it's Stanhope Elmore and the Prattville rival game each and every year. I mean, fan bases, students from both schools talk a lot of trash, man. I mean, it is what it is. It's always going to be done in that game, and it's compared, high school level, Auburn, Alabama type thing. You've got the rival school. How good did it feel for you personally to hand that 42-0 loss to them, man?
And you talk about trash talking, and they did do extremely a great amount of that.
That's okay. You
game.
Can say it. It's fine.
But I think we handled it extremely well. I never heard any of my other teammates getting up close and reacting to what they did. And I think that really got in their head because every time they would say something, all we'd have to say is scoreboard. And it was
you toss another touchdown on them, huh?
Yes, sir. It was just it was just we were really calm and cool-headed that game. So the trash talking really didn't affect us.
Cal, last question. How much fun, man, are you heading in week 4 here, week 3 for you? How much fun has the process been?
The process has been, like, extremely fun. Everybody always talks about how senior year is the best year. You're never going to get that back. You don't even have that much fun your freshman, sophomore, junior year. But your senior year, it is the best year.
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's extremely different. So.
All right, well, Kyle Kramer, man, incredible performance. Again, 18 of 22, 290 yards, 5 touchdowns against Stanhope. My man, congrats on winning this award from Buffalo Rock. Enjoyed the MVP treatment, sports clips. I don't know if you need a haircut right now. Might need to save it till it crows out a little bit. But nevertheless, man, big game tomorrow night. Good luck out there, and go Lions for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach Caleb Ross Show. So many ways, Dixie Country 100.1, Prattville Live, DixieCountry.net. You can also ask Alexa to play Dixie Country. You listen to Coach Caleb Ross Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tires Engineer.
Welcome back in, Coach Caleb Ross Show. Buffalo Wild Wings in Prattville, man, every single week. Man, we love coming back here. Great wings, great food, great Pepsi products. We love giving a little shout-out because it's tasty. And, man, joining me now is Chip Powell, the color play-by-play guy, color analyst for the Prattville Lions, Auburn football legend. From what I hear, maybe one of the fastest white guys that ever played for Auburn. So, you know, I mean, it's a pleasure to be in the midst of one of the fastest guys to hit the field at Auburn, defensive back, man. And Chip, man, it's been a wild past couple weeks for you, you know. I mean, I was sitting out in Arlington, Texas for the Auburn-Oregon game, and, you know, I saw that you're flying up, you know, you posted on Facebook, sent me a text. Didn't expect you to actually come through and make it into Texas Live, but right towards the end, who do I see? Auburn legend coming in. I said, Chip, come on, man. You know, you're playing hooky on Prattville lines too, like I was. You know, I had Call of Duty for Alabama News Network, had to go out. But, man, how was the trip for you? Tigers got the W.
Man, it was great, first of all, to see you at that place, man. Wasn't that amazing, that Texas Live?
Oh, that was nice, wasn't it?
Wow, it was huge. But, yeah, and then – you know, we start doing the interview, and you let this little 12-year-old Oregon boy
I didn't let him. I told you it wasn't pre-planned.
Okay.
Yeah. I told you it wasn't pre-planned. We're sitting there grabbing a soundbite with you, and, you know, you're breaking down what Bo Nix needs to do. And this little tiny Oregon fan, maybe like 10 years old, comes up and, like, snatches my mic out and just blasts you.
Yeah, he steps right in front of me, and – I mean,
he just blasted you, man.
After the interview was over, I beat him up, but
you beat him up
in front of his parents.
I kind of figured that would happen.
Yeah.
Did that happen outside Texas Live?
Listen, I don't mind jumping on a smaller kid. You know, I mean, it's the bigger ones I don't like to jump on. No, that was funny. That we had a good time with it. He just stepped in and it was funny. We got a lot of kicks out of that.
Yeah, join me now, Chip Powell, Prattville Lions, color play-by-play guy. You know, you're on the broadcast, so Will Barrett, lead play-by-play guy. And, man, you know, first couple weeks, fun. I mean, I was listening to some of the broadcasts. Love listening to the games on Dixie Country 100.1. You know, that's a big help for TV guys because we're trying to get up in the road. And, you know, if Prattville is one of the teams I'm shooting that night, I got to know what the score is. And I'll give you one thing. You throw out the score, good job.
Yeah, well, listen,
let the people know.
That's the professional people, Stacy Mills and Will Barrett, and Donnie Burnett, and then you got the unprofessional part, which is me. But that's what I provide, the unprofessional part. But I didn't get a chance to see the Stanhope game because I went out to Dallas, but I gave the game plan, you know, to Coach Ross before I left. Said let Eric spread it around. I mean, Kyle, throw it around.
Oh, he executed it.
Yeah, throw it around to 3 or 4 different receivers, and don't let them score on, you know, offense. And I think we'll do it, and that's exactly what he did.
Hey, was that some wisdom from all the years of playing ball? You said, Coach, you know, defensively, you can't let these guys pass on you because as a former defensive back, you know, we're just not going to have that. Was that something that you sent to Coach? Was it via text? Did you sit down with some coffee and tell him?
Most of these game plans are input by me. Caleb gets the, you know, all the recognition of it and all.
But it's really Chip Powell.
Yeah, but, you know, but anyway.
Chip, big week coming up, very big game, and you're talking about what a win for the Lions could do to Class 7A Region 2, man. Taking on Central Phoenix City, former face, you know, very former face, Jamie Dubose, head coaching over there. I mean, you know, the atmosphere at Central, I mean, they get wild. What's the broadcast team look at? You know, what's something you want to see kind of get off and especially get going quick against these Red Devils?
Well, one of the things is, you know, I've seen Central play as much as when Prattville's not playing, I go see Central play because my son is coaching over there, and so I try to go see him when I can, and I only do that when Prattville's not playing. But,
okay.
But, you know, this is the most talented team in the state of Alabama, Central Phoenix City. I mean, they got on offense, they've got a Clemson commit and a Auburn commit, and they've got 2 or 3 others that are going to end up committing. The quarterback, I think, is committed to Bowling Green, and he plays half the game. So it tells you about the other, you know, it's just talent galore out there. But this is the first time that in a while that I've looked at the both team and said, you know, we're pretty evenly matched. And what a credit that is to Coach Ross, because I would have never believed that a year ago to say that we're in this position that we can win this ball game. Because in the past 3 or 4 years, it's just you didn't have that confidence. And we've definitely got a great shot at them. You know, it's more difficult that we're going to be down there. But probably whatever happens Friday night, there's going to be a rematch of that game. I can promise you. There's going to be a rematch of this game down the road, whatever happens Friday night. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge. They're very talented, and I don't know how much I can tell y'all how talented. I don't know how they lost to Hoover. They had several turnovers, and late in the game, especially in the red zone where they had opportunities to put the game away early in the half. And it's just a huge credit to these players and Coach Ross and the staff that's put together, and because it really and I'd have thought this summer, I would have thought, I don't know if we got a chance, but it is totally turned. And I can tell you, they're very worried and very scared going into this game, and it's going to be a huge crowd because the Phoenix City people know what kind of challenge it is, and they've just they've got talent that's not even. They've got a little slot receiver that is quick and as fast as I've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is super duper. I don't know his name, but he's number 6, and then of course their other wide receivers commit to Clemson, and so it's just a lot of talent over there,
Mm-hmm.
But we got a good chance, and these kids, what I understand with the practices and everything that's been going on this week, and that's what you got to have, is that kind of attitude when you're facing a talented team like this.
All right, we heard from himself, color play-by-play guy with Will Barrett, Chip Powell, Auburn legend, man, in my eyes. Thanks for coming on and breaking everything down.
Oh, man, enjoyed, looking forward to it. It's going to be a great game.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back for the last segment of the Coach Kayla Ross Show for tonight.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change, and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change, and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change, and Tires Engineer.
Coach Caleb Ross show last time tonight, and Coach, man, let's get straight to it. Don't have a lot of time. The Nick Saban show follows in just a few minutes. So if you're a Bama fan, you got to stick around. Another incentive to listen to us every single week. If you're a Bama fan, you got to listen to Coach Saban. Coach, man, strategy, it's not much you can change the night before, but how you feeling tonight, leading into this game? How's been the weeks leading up? Because, you had an extra week to prepare for this matchup.
All you can do is you can just go off of how your kids are prepared for a game. Like I said, I've been really proud of our preparation. We've had a great week of practice. Our defense had a really good week all week. Like I said, we've talked about Monday, but exclude that, we've had a great week offensively. And to me, you don't treat it any different than any other week, man. We go out, we do the same things we did Monday.
It's kind of the key, isn't it?
That's it. I mean, that's when. And sometimes you ask Coach, what are you going to do this week? Well, we're not going. Why would we change? We're
Same thing.
That's it. That's right. So that's all you can do. And look, Central's it's an outstanding football program. It's defending state champs. And like I know Chip said it, man, they are extremely talented football team. I mean, they got D1 prospects at pretty much every position. They've got speed, and that's probably sometimes the hardest thing to simulate is their overall team speed. Like everybody you play is going to have a fast corner. They're going to have a receiver that can go, or maybe a running back, or maybe one linebacker can really run. But, man, every kid they're going to put on the team can run. And that's really just the hardest thing to simulate to your kids in practice. Man, they're extremely talented. Here's the thing. Everybody's like, well, they got great players, and that's what makes them great. Well, yes, they do. They got really good players, but they do a really good job coaching them. I mean, it isn't like kids are out of place, man. I mean, obviously Jamie's involved in the offense. He's a heck of an offensive mind. He's a great play caller. Man, I've learned a lot of football from him. I mean, we worked together for 5 years, so been there. And probably a little bit of similarities in some things. So really good offensive minded. They do a good job. Receivers run good routes, man. They're physical, run the football. And then obviously defensively, I know Mark Hurd. He was on the Prattville staff. Man, he's does a great job. Kids play with incredible edge. They play discipline. It ain't like they're out of place, man. They line up the things right. They fly to the football, and they got a nasty attitude when they get there. So, look, we've got a challenge. It is going to be different from when we played Foley or Stanhope. I do believe our kids will be ready. Now, we don't ever go in and predict wins. I do think our kids I predict our kids will play hard, man. They're not going to back down. They're going to go after them. It is business as usual. And like I told our kids, man, you're playing for some pride here. I mean, it's been no secret. Prattville's been on the very short end of that stick the last few years playing Central Phoenix City. So this game's about a little bit more than
Oh.
No, man, what is this? This is bad.
Coach,
this is
man.
really bad.
Big
really,
Ted
really,
Bokey coming in here. Is this for number
really
50? Man, let's get a little camera shot on that. Look at that.
Really
Big
bad.
Ted Bokey coming in. Buffalo Wild Wings GM. Big Ted, man. We don't have a lot of time
bad,
left,
man.
but that is
That's really bad.
That is a good-looking cake.
Man, I'm excited about eating that because
Oh,
I'm
man.
a chocolate and sweet guy. That's more
Big Ted coming in from
important right
Opelika
there. That
just
is big
to
time,
deliver
man.
this,
Ted's on
man.
time,
That's your
man.
guy, huh?
Yeah, Ted is my guy, man. He is on time all the time, man. Appreciate it, man.
Look at that.
Appreciate it, man.
Gotta give some love.
I mean, I told you, just because he's going over there, he can't forget about us back here, man. And that's good stuff.
I thought he was up to something. He was kind of going out, coming back in. He was kind of creeping around over there, and then he comes out with this surprise. Look at that.
Hey, thank you. That's bad. But thank you, man. I really, man. Now, hey,
trying to embarrass you a little bit, but
I'll tell you what. Let's see, we're 2-0. Number 6. If we can get to 62 this year, we'll take it a great. That we'll celebrate. We can get to 62 wins this year. That'd be a great one. Okay, so.
Well, it says 50 on there, Coach. You're looking for 51 tomorrow night, playing one of the top teams in the entire state. It's a team you're very familiar with, but, man, it's going to be a great game. Central Phoenix City at Central tomorrow night. You can catch a pregame show at 6 o'clock right here on Dixie Country 100.1. We're live at the field 6:45. Chip Powell will bear the whole gang. You can listen to the game right there. You don't want to miss it. 7 o'clock kickoff on the road. Coach, man, it has been a pleasure as each and every week. We look forward to the next week. Good luck, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go Lions.
Appreciate what you do, man. It's good stuff.
All right, so Coach Caleb Ross show each and every Thursday night, 5:30 to 6:30. That'll wrap it up for this edition, Central Phoenix City Week. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week.